A warm welcome for Russian President Vladimir Putin in the Turkish capital Ankara. It is third and final destination in his whistle-stop tour. He has been to Syria and Egypt too, all in one day. The Kremlin says the trip is meant to strengthen Russian ties with these nations. In Ankara, President Putin and Erdogan were eager to showcase improving relations between their countries. They both criticized President Donald Trump's decision on Jerusalem.
Both Russia and Turkey think that the decision of the US to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel is not helping to solve the situation in the Middle East. It is destabilizing it, and it can wipe out the prospect of peace.
The US decision to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel has caused outrage in the whole world. It has caused disappointment, and it is an irresponsible step to have taken. As a result, the heightened tensions are obvious.
Putin and Adow also discussed bilateral issues including trade, tourism and joint energy projects. Relations between Ankara and Moscow have come a long way since November 2015 when Turkey downed a Russian fighter jet. The two leaders see eye to eye on most issues regarding Syria, but still have differences on the future role of President Bashar al-Assad and the issue of Syrian Kurdish fighters, the YPG. Putin began his whirlwind trip in Syria, the first time the Russian president visited the country since the start of the war, nearly 7 years ago. He was greeted by senior officers and warmly embraced by President al-Assad. Putin's forces have been helping his troops since 2015, when the Syrian government was on the brink of collapse. In a speech, Putin declared victory over what he described as terrorists and announced a partial pullout of his soldiers from Syria.
To the General Command, I give this order. Russia's military presence in Syria has come to an end. The motherland awaits you, friends. Safe journey. I thank you for your service.
Putin also pledged to continue to support Syria militarily by keeping some of his forces on the ground. He then departed for the Egyptian capital. There he met President Abdul Fattah el-Sisi. The leaders have been strengthening ties in recent years. Putin and Sisi also signed a deal on nuclear power. The growing ties between Russia and the second largest recipient of US military aid after Israel, Egypt, could potentially strain relations between Cairo and Washington, and are yet another sign of Putin's attempts to expand Russia's influence across the Middle East. Mohammad, Adow, Al Jazeera, Ankara.